So one thing that I have found over the last 12, 18 months, not only in my own health and fitness journey, but also that of the people around me. And be honest, you can relate what I'm about to say to any aspects of life, whether that be family, business. But we'll stick with health and fitness. I really do believe that if you want to make changes to your health and fitness, whether that be exercise-related goals in the gym or other, nutritional-based goals or body composition or recomposition goals, or specific aspects to your sport performance on the field, on the court, or of course in the gym, is that if you want to achieve something, you have to consistently commit to the work required to achieve that goal. Now that sounds obvious. That sounds really obvious. If I consistently commit to something, I'm more likely to achieve what I wanted to achieve. Well, yeah, it is that obvious. But the amount of times that we don't, and I've been really, really guilty to this in the past. And I think if a lot of people ask themselves and are true to themselves about, have I consistently committed to a program, to a plan, to the steps required to get to an outcome, I think there's a lot of people, if they're honest with themselves, will realise that actually they haven't. Now, there's loads of obvious examples that you can think of. Nutrition and dieting and changes to health with regards to changing, losing body fat or changing your body composition. That's a quite an obvious one. Loads of people will make changes to their nutritional habits in order to achieve weight loss. Is usually the obvious goal, but it can be, of course, putting muscle on or any sort of, like I said, change to your body composition. A lot of people will commit to a diet or to a change in nutritional habits, or say that they're going to commit to those changes, and they will keep a food diary for week 1. They'll have a really good breakfast. They'll cut out the booze. They'll drink the amount of water that is required, and they'll do that for a week, possibly 2. And they might get invited to a party on a Saturday, and then they kind of go wayward, and then they don't quite get up on Monday and have the good breakfast that they're required, and all of a sudden you've kind of fallen off track again. This is not to judge anyone. We've all been there. We all do that. I still do that on a regular basis. However, in doing that and falling a little bit wayward, you haven't consistently committed to the work that is required to achieve your nutritional goal. Exercise is a really obvious one. Now, I work with a bunch of quite high-level young sports people between the ages of 15 to 19 that all want to go and play at a high level with their sport. And you tell these guys that if you want to be a professional sports person, or you want to get as close to that as you can, is you have to commit to daily routines and daily tasks and weekly exercise sessions, and you have to commit to them consistently over an extended period of time. And again, straight away, they'll sign up for the gym, they'll come and see myself and the IC staff for 2 sessions a week, 3 sessions a week consistently for the first month sometimes. And then something comes up and they can't get a lift, or their bike broke, or they've got schoolwork. And again, all very legitimate excuses, but all of a sudden those 3-4 sessions come down to 2, and all of a sudden those sessions come down to 1. All of a sudden you don't see them for a couple of weeks, and then they try and pick it back up again. And exactly the same as the nutrition example, with that up and down nature, has there been a consistent commitment to the work required to get where you need to do? Now, we can go off on a tangent and talk of the possible reasons for this, because I do think there are methods of that we can apply to our life to help with this, to consistently commit to this work. Diary is a really good one. Changing routine, mindset, loads and loads of great resources out there to help us commit. But I guess the point of what I'm trying to make is that you've got to be consistent with any plan or program that you put in place to achieve a set goal, because there's so much info out there to give us the tools that are required to achieve whatever we want to achieve with regards to our health and fitness. But what all of that theory and all of that research and all of that great advice from experts gives us is that you have to do X, Y, and Z. And usually you have to do X, Y, and Z over an extended period of time, because you can't just make changes for a week and expect you to be where you want to be with regards to your health and fitness. So it comes back to the point that I've made numerous times over the course of the last 5 minutes, is that there has to be consistency, there has to be commitment, and you have to do those two things over and over again for for an extended period of time to achieve the results. And if you do that, so if you have an exercise plan that says 3 times a week and you consistently commit to the exercises and the rep schemes and the sets and the weights that are in that program for an extended period of time, let's say 8 weeks, you can then give yourself good, honest feedback of whether you achieved what you did. Because if you didn't achieve what you did, but you committed to everything, something went wrong in the plan. And that's when you can start holding yourself and other people accountable, because we obviously did the wrong thing. But the reality is, if you've consistently committed to something, there's probably going to be some form of positive change. So I guess the point of this, if you've made it all the way to the end of this 6 minute ramble from myself, is that if you want to make a change, I would get a plan or a program, whether that's made by yourself or set by an expert, whether that be an S&C coach, personal trainer, or some expert advice online, is then follow that plan for a period of time, consistently, and then you can make a true judgment of whether you've done everything that you can to make the change. Because I would guess by the time you get to that end point, you'll be in a really good position. So yeah, like I've said numerous times throughout this video, consistently commit to the work required to reach your goal.